it sounds crazy when I say 4 years.
And you're only 20.
Yeah. Because when people find out my age and they say, you've been doing this for 4 years? I'm like, yeah. They're like, no! Hi, I'm Laura, I'm 20 years old and I'm still life stylist. I've been in fashion now for about 4 years because I started when I was 16 in the summer of just finishing year 11 at school. How I got my job is actually quite a funny story. I was doing my induction day for college. I was going to study maths, psychology, all this kind of things. And I was just like, this is a complete waste of my time. I know what I want to do and I just need to figure out how to get there. So I made a deal with my dad that if I could find a decent job by the time I was due to start college, then that was it, I was off. And as it happened, I got very lucky, and a family friend who worked at one of the biggest companies that I work for now, she got me in, and that was a big step. Having never worked a day in my life before and being so young, and as one of the youngest in my year group, I was quite immature at the time. I was very shy. I didn't even have my GCSE results when I got the job. But it's paid off. A lot of people assume that as a stylist you work with models or clothes or celebrities and things like that, but still life styling is completely different. I work mostly with products, so I can be a bit more of a perfectionist. I haven't got someone moving around all the time, and it's very particular. Like, you can take your time on things, make sure that it's absolutely perfect, and yeah, it's just more relaxed. I arrive at work by about 9 o'clock, but my hour and a quarter journey into work, I'm just sleeping. I'm so tired. First mission when I get into work is coffee and toast. I can't live without my coffee and toast. Usually I only have maybe 2-3 other people on my team, just me and the photographer sometimes. That is a real difference between still life styling and ready to wear styling. Ready to wear, you've got a hair makeup team, you'll have a huge photography team. It really does vary between each job, each company, what sort of job you're doing. But day to day, it can be very intimate, which is a really nice environment to be around. We'll just get straight into the day, get stuck in. Unless we've got accessories, then generally I'll have an assistant on set with me to do all the prep for me. Just so it makes everything, she can run me through, let me know what needs to be done, if there's any specific notes and things like that, just so we're completely organised and the day can flow as well as possible. As a still life stylist, you are shooting all day long, from morning till the end of your day pretty much, and throughout the day your images will get approved, so you don't have to go back and reshoot things, because at the end of the day it's not our decision. Well, partly is, but mainly the company has to like what they see and like what they're selling. I would usually wear to work pretty much what I'm wearing now, jeans, jumper or t-shirt, just as long as I'm comfortable, because you could be on your feet all day, you could be on your knees all day, you could be doing God knows whatever. Especially working with kids, which we do as well. You can jump from still life, which is products, into kids, because it all comes under the same sort of thing. Just depends how patient you are, I guess. But yeah, definitely if you're working with kids, pair of trainers are a must. Pair of trainers are a must anyway, to be quite honest. But if you're working more corporate or in a bigger brand, more luxury brand, depending on what you're doing, if a campaign, for instance, definitely trousers and heel boots, and all black is the way to go, all black. A normal day will be 9 to 5:30, but it just depends, again, who you're working for, what you've got in that day, because certain shoots, especially if you're working on a campaign, for example, you could be there till 9 o'clock at night, you could be there till midnight. It really does depend on what you're shooting and how the days pan out. I'm definitely most challenged by things like ties and canvas bags, because they just flop, so it makes your life a hell of a lot more difficult. And things like chains, belts, anything that can take its own shape is very difficult, and you can spend a lot of time doing those sort of things. After work, I would just come home and slob out, if I'm quite honest, just because when you're on your feet all day, your day is constant. It takes the energy completely out of you, unless we go out for drinks after work, but that's always bonus. Best part of my job is seeing the finished product online after you spent all that time and hard work making it look so beautiful, and then finally seeing it in all of its glory. I think my first ever day that I worked for one of the main companies that I still work for now, that was my first ever working day in my life, and I think that's definitely the most special occasion because it changed my life and it's got me where I am today. I think my biggest fear when starting the job because it was my first ever job anyway, and I was so young and everyone was so much older than me, and you just assume fashion can be very intimidating, which it can be, but I think you just really need to get stuck in and make sure that you're communicating with people, getting to know people, because if you are friends with people that you work with, it just makes your whole day so much better and so much more fun. So the best advice for someone who wants to go into still life styling is make sure that you've got a lot of patience, make sure that you've got experience working within a team, and definitely start assisting, because that's the best way to learn about everything and anything. You will know all the ins and outs, and you'll just understand the role a hell of a lot better, and you can learn from other people, which I found is the best experience you can have. You just need a bit of hard work and determination. I don't necessarily think you need to go to university and things like that. Just as long as you really know what you want to do and you're willing to work for it, you will succeed. And then, thanks for watching, and I wish you every best success.